It has been 25 years since Tony Kushner's Angels in America premiered on Broadway and became a definitive work of American art, arguably one of the most important plays of the 20th century. It's now having its first Broadway revival, and it is as powerful and as critical of people in power and society as a whole as it was during its original run. It's an intimate and intense look at, among other things, AIDS victims, those who place stigma, blame, and shame on those dying from the disease. Let's take a look.
She's approaching. I want more life.
You'll find, my friend, that what you love will take you places you never dreamed you'd go.
The play helped change the way gay lives were represented in pop culture. This revival stars, among others, Nathan Lane, Andrew Garfield, directed by Marianne Elliott, and its impressive cast also includes our next guests, Lee Pace and James McArdle. Gentlemen, welcome to you. Nice to have you both with you.
Thanks for having us.
I'm going to start off by telling you, I saw this a couple of weeks ago. The play was extraordinary, and you were both fabulous.
Thank you.
And I think that the notion of how hard you all work on this is something that struck me. When we talk about how its impact 25 years ago, and it was shattering in a lot of ways. And I had seen that Tony Kushner was a little reluctant about the idea of doing it again. And I saw that he talked about the fact that things are so different in so many levels. AIDS is not a death sentence anymore. The notion of same-sex marriage, which to your characters would have been unthinkable in the time that this was performed, now is accepted, has the imprimatur of propriety from the U.S. Supreme Court, essentially. And they decided to do it anyway. How do you think, then, the issues, the story, how do you think it resonates with today's audiences?
I think that absolutely proves that this play is timeless, that it's a classic play that will go through the ages, you know, like the universal themes sort of trump the, sorry to use the word, but trump the ideas of that you've just mentioned, you know, that I think if the play survives 400 years from now, which I think it will, that the themes and the personal battles that the characters are going through are timeless, you know, I think.
Almost Shakespearean?
Yeah,
in a sense,
absolutely.
the way we look back at Shakespeare now?
Yeah, or Greek. I absolutely think
drama.
it is. And I think that the issues of the play are different from the themes of the play, and the themes of the play are the things that will make it timeless.
And talking about change, you talk about change, Joe, you know, a Mormon, and balancing who he is on so many levels. Do you find that your character continues to evolve on stage, even after you've started performing it? Or once you have started performing it, is the character kind of locked in?
I mean, I learn things about the character every night. I kind of learned, oh, that's what that's about. That's what's possible in that moment. Do you know what I mean? Or that's, you know, I kind of, there's a scene I have with Nathan in the middle of Perestroika, where I feel like I'm only now starting to really understand what the moment is about, what I'm asking for from him. You know, I'm asking for sympathy. I'm telling him that I've been staying with a man, that I've left my wife, and I'm trying to understand the complicated ask that I'm trying to make of him, which is, understand me. You know, understand what this is, because I have no one in my life that does understand.
Right, and it's a marvelous scene.
Yeah.
Let me talk about the doing the production. It's more than 7 hours. When you and I went to one of the days where it's both segments in one day. It seems to me it's very physical performing for you all. Do you have to train for this? Is it as demanding as it looks to us in the audience?
I mean, I think it's pretty demanding. It's one of the more demanding things I've done. Yeah, it's a challenge. And you have to really show up with everything you've got. You know, there's a lot of people out there who care about watching the story. The play demands a certain amount of focus and presence. That is, it is exhausting.
Do you ever find yourself, this might be a foolish question, but as I mentioned, a couple of days, part one and part two, same day. That's when I went, afternoon, evening. And then there are others where you do one part one day and one part another day. You ever walk into the theater saying, which part am I doing?
What am I doing
today? Is that,
I struggle on the Sundays. We alternate each Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm always like,
Okay.
what play are we doing?
Right. If somebody says to you, and I was struck by this also. If somebody says to you, Lee, I hear you're doing this play in Broadway, Angels in America, and I don't know anything about it. What's it about? What's the sort of the elevator pitch? What do you say to them for something this complex about what this show is about?
Boy, that is a tough elevator pitch, isn't it?
Isn't it? To try to figure it out?
It's like a dream, isn't it? It's like this
That's
insane,
a good way.
you know,
that is a
dream
good way.
where this angel visits a man who's dying of AIDS and makes a profit out of him.
Right.
And all of these other, you know, interactions. I mean, it's really a play of two character scenes. These confrontations
So many of them.
that happen between these two people. Some of them love each other, some of them hate each other.
But you know what I was also struck by? There's great humor in this.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
And in a way, almost, as an audience member, you're almost kind of embarrassed. Is it okay for me to laugh?
A gay Republican.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
I'm not.
Republican, not Republican, or
What?
Because there's such drama.
I think it's so important to laugh. You know, I think the humour is the humanity of the play, and without it, it would be a dry 7 hours. You know, I think that it is the key element, I think, to making the play so moving. Actually, is the humour. And when I did research, or when documentaries I've watched, or people I've spoken to who had AIDS during the crisis, and I met a guy who had AIDS during the crisis and is still alive, survived, or people who are HIV positive. The thing that I find, especially with the community that we deal with, is the humour is there as a strength, you know, and is used as a way to cope, you know, and I think that's remarkable, and I think it's really moving and really human.
And I think it's part of the genius of
Yeah.
the play. Well, as I said at the very beginning, the two of you are fabulous in this, and it's just an extraordinary show. And I want to thank you for spending some time with us and chatting about it. It's been great to get your sense of what this is all about. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Cool, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
And a reminder for you, Angels in America Parts 1 and 2, now playing a limited run at the Neil Simon Theater until July 1st. For more information on the play, you can log on to metrofocus.org.